setting up for your own lab 16 computers that would talk to each other and write in kind of like under your control so that you are writing a same program that distributes itself to 16 different computers was an expensive proposition. So I don't think I ever went more, writing code for more than 16.
That's a very interesting point because once we finished the RP3 project, the idea was technology on the mainframe was still bipolar and water cooled, getting very expensive. So before you thought of the next mainframe, you had to put $1 billion for the pipeline on the silicon side. So there, the mainframe guys are looking at, hey, how can I use microprocessor technology? So we had finished the parallel processing, so okay, why don't we marry ideas from parallel processing and all that? And so that marriage took place. The current generation mainframes are based on that. But on that one, when we looked at the networking aspect, or multi-stage networking, it didn't turn out to be that efficient. And so what we went after looking at the mainframe technology was, it's a shared memory capability, multi-processing SMP type, right? So then we went and built a very high powerful shared memory architecture.
It could have been called
in the shared memory was where the switching was built in, and you could build a crossbar.
We operated with the assumption the shared memory will be a bottleneck.
Yeah.
That was the fundamental assumption of the TRAC and.
But now they figure out what caches and double, multiple layer caches.
So expensive, right? The memory also is so expensive.
But now we got like memory chips. They are shared, right? They share graphics and processor share.
And
memory,
Leposki had this issue about
buffers.
memory. He always considered memory to be very costly. So he had this bias of you optimize memory like crazy.
When did Ethernet come about? 1980s, right? When did Ethernet first come? When did this guy write his thesis?
It's parallel, in parallel. The Ethernet papers are in parallel to what we're doing. It's early 80s. In early 80s.
Early 80s.
Early 80s. But that time networking was so bad. But that's what displays, right? The internet is there now across
all this other stuff.
All the networking is being done through the
PCP finally came about like in the mid 90s.
And for it to take popular,
at Wayne Dresser, that was a lot of fun because at Wayne, I started there in '86 after I left the lab, and we did an embedded project with 81, 86 processors from Intel. And then after that, they wanted to do the next generation thing. They call it Nucleus. And I was like kind of a pseudo architect, like figuring out what technology to use. And they wanted to use off-the-shelf PCs for cache registers, and they wanted a central thing. So we went into OS. We started using OS2, which was too bad,
IBM operating system.
Yeah, but it died.
Yeah.
And mainly because of political reasons, because it was a pretty good operating system. But the thing is, we were talking about different networking. We were playing with Lantastic and a bunch of different things that have died since then. But Ethernet, I actually proposed Ethernet, and I wrote this paper. I said, at some point in time, it'll be on all PCs, because at that time you had to buy an expensive board put in, and it wasn't twisted wire. It was that coax cable. And it was
in fact, there's a lot of companies like the Banyan network.
It was quite expensive. But sure enough, and so we chose Ethernet, and it turned out to be a good choice.
Mukesh's company, right?
It worked out.
Mukesh, that's how we get
Excellent.
But if you'd picked any of those other technologies, it would have been bad business.
If you look at our parallel processing stuff, Amazon is a good example. It is the parallel processing, where it's at layer 2 level of parallel processing. Which is the VLAN Ethernet aspect.
Amazon?
Yeah. Today you can get as many virtual CPUs as you want, right? As much memory as you want.
Distributed system software throughout my career, right?
And it gives you all the parallels.
From the beginning at Bell Labs, my project was distributed systems. Bellcore, it was distributed systems. Actually, in Bell Labs, there were two competing buses. One was called DataKit, and the other one was called SNet. And I worked on the SNet with the VME boards, Motorola 68,000 processors, in a backplane with VME. That worked well for up to about 15, 16, but there is a bottleneck. That's why I'm a little bit surprised how the N-log-N network did not become a kind of a standard for communication.
That's
because of the IP, because of IP packet switch.
Yes,
because of that. So switching became so fast.
Right.
Because we all thought the switching is going to remain at the processor speed.
Yeah.
And the switching kind of went...
because they got A6 against that, they did A6 against that.
And also the software technology was not at the level of instruction set being distributed, programs being distributed. Right? We were all about instruction set being distributed.
Yeah, we were more economic.
Yeah,
about
because
it.
we had parallel processing operations, right? I mean, when we were doing TRAC, you said add, it was not just 32-bit number with 32-bit number. It was like,
It's a vector operation. Yeah.
It was parallelized. Microprogramming.
I think things went where they should have gone naturally because it's at the program level.
So even
right?
at the chip level, right? The Motorola 68000 was
So,
much
Yeah,
better
we-
chip than the
Yeah.
Intel 8088.
our goal isn't to make a lot of
But they
stuff
want
to sell, but we do sell stuff.
Because it's interesting tech talk.
Yeah.
It was all marketing, right?
let's
Because
see. But I can- some of the
I talked to this
pieces of
guy
my
who was a marketing
class-
guy, manager for
So like
Intel
here
for
is
8088.
a piece.
And that's what he said. They just marketed the hell out
that
of
I just
Motorola, and Motorola
finished.
didn't
That's
know
a
how to market the
mosaic
chip because
piece.
that was not their thing,
But
right?
it's,
The company was not built on
It's about
Yeah.
chips. Their
this
focus
big.
was something else.
The
But
funny
so
part of tech
instead
is
of
you
like
don't have to
stained
be
glass,
best.
you
You
cut
have to
the
be good
pieces
enough.
and you solder them together. This is
Timing,
smooth
timing,
clear
and
glass,
good
and then
Yeah.
you
You're
ground
right
it.
place at the right
So
time.
are you familiar with mosaic?
In
A lot
retrospect,
of little pieces, you glue it all down, and
because,
then
you know, what I
you
found
rub
is
grout all over it,
there are
and it
smart
gets the
people
cracks, and
all
you clean it
over.
all off.
Right? They're in IBM, they're
So
in Bell
that
Labs, they're in
was,
Intel, they're in Sun,
Cisco.
whatever, right? They're
Where
smart
is that
people.
piece in your house?
And they're all
No, I just
working
finished
hard.
it. Well,
So
it's at
you
home,
don't
but I
really
haven't done anything
win
with it.
on
So
purely
this
smart
was-
and purely hard work.
This
Because
was
everybody
a
is working hard
class
and
I
everybody is smart.
took
So the
there,
third
actually,
factor really
to
is
do the
the
mosaics.
timing.
This is another guy's
And
piece.
a lot of people
Isn't
claim
that interesting? I think that's
vision
pretty cool.
post facto
beautiful color.
for luck.
That was mine.
Well said. Yeah.
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 But it's always post facto.
These are
Because
two, I don't know
if
if
you
you can
really,
see it
really
here.
look at it,
Yeah,
Two
all the
different ones.
failures,
So, same
right,
design. They were
that happened while
friends.
one succeeded.
They each.
You look
So
at
the
the,
same
the
design, they
failure
came up with
team,
something
they were just
different.
as smart.
Isn't that?
You
It's
didn't
just
make
like a
it.
mark. I did not
Yeah.
run that.
Then
These are
post
other
success,
people.
you invent all the stories about
Well, I
really
thought-
visionary people that
Common
did
stories
this and
between
that.
Microsoft and DRA, right? DRA had a Unix system, Unix-like system, right? Run on the chip.
So I taught them how to do
But as
that.
Microsoft
And
came
then
up
another
with the
instructor
stupid,
taught
you
the
know,
mosaic.
Oh,
That was definitely the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
Because DR turned down
They're also
from
humble.
IBM, right?
Yeah.
They're also humble, right? But DRA thought they were big
It's
shit.
like a
They
martini
didn't want to do
glass.
work with
how do
IBM.
you
Dear
get
does.
these?
But you know, you listen to a lot of
That's all
famous people. I
glass.
just listened
Oh,
to a
that's all
podcast
colored
of
glass.
Richard
And then you
Branson,
stick
and
it together.
he failed
Yeah, you glue it onto a
lot
clear
of projects.
sheet.
Yes.
And he said the key
So you're
is
cutting the
try a lot of
glass.
things,
So you
and
need
if
to
they don't
cut the
work,
glass.
fast.
if it's
So
not
you
going to
wear
work,
like,
like kill it.
Well,
Kill it
they
right
fail
away.
fast.
Fail fast.
He said you're going to do that. He tried to do Virgin Bridal.
Virgin Bridal.
Yeah, Virgin Bridal, and he said he
That's
started-
an oxymoron.
they opened one store and it didn't do well, and he shut it down within I think 6
That
months.
was doomed to be a failure right there.
He said they couldn't find any customers.
And then how do you draw? You have to
Hey,
draw
but the
the
funny thing
glass
is,
first
you
to
know,
cut it?
most women when they get married, they still wear white.
If your glass is clear, you're
Whether
looking
whatever-
through
whatever
the
No, no, no.
glass
These days
onto
it's
the-
little
the
off-white.
pattern.
Off-white.
Off-white.
Yeah,
So
that
you
is to
see the
indicate.
line, so you just cut right
Just
on
a
the line.
maybe.
Maybe one or two. Maybe one or two.
Well, yeah, you start with the pattern that we've already
You can
figured out.
Like
trace the
notches on a
pattern.
shotgun.
It's honest on the
Or
glass.
we have
Sejnowski.
So the guy also must wear a white shirt and a sort of a
to make
off-white.
to break it. Okay.
You know,
So
yesterday
it's not like the
somebody
cutter
said,
doesn't
what
cut all
was
way through
the
it. It just
thing, if something
draws
don't work,
a
press the
line
chips.
on it, and you have
Yeah.
Yeah.
still break it.
Yeah, that
It is
Roy.
so
So it may or
true.
may not break where you want
We
it
were,
to.
then
I was at this
we can
startup
do
company
it
called
at times,
Fluent,
Yeah,
and we were the
it's-
company that first made motion video in a Windows PC.
Oh, I know.
30
I can
frames per
show you
second,
another one I
QSIF,
made.
in a window.
That
And we could
I
actually
gave
move that
to
window
some
while the
friends
movie was playing. And we actually came up with and I have a patent on this one, along with a couple of other people. It's a phase lock loop that synchronized
I know,
audio and
I
video,
love it.
Right
but in a
colors.
scalable way. We call it scalable video
So
because
this
the
is
LANs
in
at
their
that time
bathroom.
were the bottleneck between a server that had video files.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you look like a Netflix or something, that's what we were trying to do in
You see the trees
1990,
behind it, so
right?
that's like
On a LAN.
Deepu.
So video server
Look at
would
this,
be
maybe.
on
This is
on the
the,
LAN,
bathroom
and
window
Windows
above the
machines would
top.
be
Well, you do,
clients.
Steinman? The
And the
same?
client would
Yeah.
receive
That's such-
audio
That's
video
very,
streams.
that's very painstaking.
And until
And
then,
then
they
you
had
can see
something called
the
interleave,
trees from the
where
Yeah,
audio and
it is.
video
It's not
blocks.
easy, it's delicate
like
stuff.
a,
Very good, and you can see the trees.
1 second of
I know, this is-
actually
So that
30 frames per
piece is
second means
about,
33
like,
milliseconds.
because it's
Wow.
a
One
whole
frame.
window.
And that was
Wait,
the
So
wait.
one
first
frame
piece I
of
ever
video
made.
will have 33 milliseconds of audio
I
with
didn't
it.
know what I was getting
And they will,
myself
in the file format, they will be interleaved.
Beautiful.
Audio,
So
video, audio, video.
that was back when I
So
was in college. I
synchronization
made that,
was
and
based
they-
on the
I gave it to
interleaving interleaving of the video in the
And they
data.
lived in.
So you kind of buffered it up and then got it
What we
all
did was we
together
separated
and
them.
you pulled it out.
We said this is the audio stream, this is the video stream.
Yeah.
Because we knew that the human mind will interpolate visually.
So they
So
sort
instead
of
30
frame the
frames per
window
second,
for
let us say you
fitting that.
reduce it to 24 frames per second.
And I hadn't
It will
seen
still
it
see
so many
motion.
years, so
Yeah.
they
And
should
actually you
do
can
that.
prove that, and so psychologists have done
Yeah,
that.
here's the
Below
bathtub.
15 frames per second,
Oh.
that's when you see that more
That's
like
very
a
nice.
jerky motion.
And-
I thought I didn't know I made
Until
that.
about between
And
17
so-
and 15, the mind will
That was the
interpolate
piece I
and
remember.
see motion.
Yeah.
As opposed to
Why
jerky
do
motion.
people
Yeah, but
watch
it's
a lot
Audio,
of
we
blues
detect
and
the
stay?
minute audio
It's
is
just so
lost, we
vibrant.
detect.
Okay.
Video, we have a visual cortex that
Eye-catching. The blues and
predicts and
reds
kind of fills the data
Yeah.
basically.
And I-
There's two
And
glasses.
So
the
using that
syncing has to be
Just
pretty
put it
close
next
too,
to the
right?
bar.
I mean, your mind detects
That is not
differences in
easy.
syncing if something,
Because you have to deal with
See,
layers.
somebody hits a hammer and then,
If the mouth, the lips
Yeah.
don't correspond to the audio,
Yeah.
it'll be like you don't get the right experience.
yeah. I mean, even now you still
And you-
see that on TV
Oh, yeah,
shows
yeah.
sometimes. You
That's
know, it's like
because-
doesn't feel right.
Oh.
It doesn't feel right, right?
Yeah.
So what we said is instead of that, we'll have separate
Teachers,
streams
no.
and we
So, but it really needs
timestamp
to be
Very
the same
nice.
the
pattern, but how they did it
frame
different-
of video
Different
with the
perspectives. Yeah.
corresponding
Yeah, and
33
it's kind
milliseconds of audio
Art
clip
Deco-y. Now this
for
one I
each
thought
frame,
was cool. You
right?
might appreciate it.
So
This was a
the
guy
timestamps were used in the
This
client.
is where the popping thing
Yeah,
happens.
yeah,
As opposed
read
to
that.
Imagine the sun
relying
behind
on the
it. Yeah.
interleaving
Yeah.
of data.
Well, and
So then you decouple the
so this was mosaic
data
style,
representation
so we
from
routed
the
instead of
synchronization.
soldering it.
And this
So we
is
call it the phase lock loop.
very interesting because
So
you
now
don't
you
see
can have
the
a control
wires,
signal
supporting wires on
coming
it.
back
Well,
from
see,
the
because it's
client to
routed.
the server.
So it's a little
And if the
different.
server
So you don't have
detects
the
that
metal
frames
solder
are
between.
not
You're just
getting,
taking
um,
glass that's
across,
cut
right?
perfectly and then
Client
you
would
just
send a
No, no,
signal
and then you
back,
put
a
the
video
ground that
control
Well,
signal.
close to it.
That would slow
In this
down the
case,
video.
It was a glass
So it'll
on glass
throttle the
mosaic.
video
So
down,
Glass
but it'll
on
keep
changing
the audio
color glass
prioritized.
to a sheet
And then the
glass.
experience of the
And
user, and we could
routing
see
it
that
like
from,
you do,
we would vary
cloud
almost
code.
like with a knob, 30 frames per
To
second,
hold
we
it
dial
together.
down to
Hold it together,
15,
yeah. And then
the
it'll still go
bandwidth
up in the
will
window.
fall by half.
and then because
Yeah.
you're gluing it, does it
And,
change
so
the way
we
the
will see,
light refracts?
So no, if you had a
It can
packet
a
loss
little.
Okay.
or a
But
slow
no.
network,
Okay.
right?
This guy,
Because you know
though,
the Windows
And that-
PC could
that
be
lighting
running
is
some other
from the
Excel
front or from the
spreadsheet or
behind?
something else. So you could never rely on a dedicated amount
That
of
then is done
It'll be even
horsepower
brighter in a
on
window.
the
Yeah.
client.
Just standing.
So
on
it worked well, and
Cut real
Novel bought.
carefully.
Did you ever get into-
Novel bought because of that.
Did you ever get into anything
And it's
where
so-
if you
it's-
did lose
it's
some
very,
data,
It's very
Right.
aesthetic.
audio
It's
or
still very
video, to
aesthetic.
figure out how to fill it in naturally,
Great, I thought,
like
he
interpolate
doesn't know
to
what he's doing.
the images
Look at
and
the
come
size.
up with a
Shading on
fake
the
image
size.
in between?
No, I'm like, wow.
Yeah, so there are
And
two
with,
standards, right?
first
MPEG and
It was,
JPEG.
but you know what?
Between
It turns out
iPhones,
he's
they
a
have a
mural
little
artist.
Yeah, those are called
just the
And with